Such a slob. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now I feel like I went through a phase a couple of years ago, possibly even a year ago, of trying out these craft kits from a company called House of Crafts. And anyway, I haven't done one in absolutely ages. So I thought I'd get another one, see if this one's gonna be, you know, pretty good, pretty decent. I usually find them to be average, poor.
Help me, I'm poor.
But they're also good in the sense of kind of introducing you into a new craft. But I've never bought one and been absolutely blown away by it. So today I'm going to be trying out. I'm going to have to be careful with this as well because it's broken. A stained glass craft kit. So we're going to do a little bit of glass painting. How fun. Okay, so this is the box here. And it looks very typical of a House of Crafts craft kit. They all look very similar, but it looks quite nice. It looks very pleasing. I have in fact already opened this craft kit because if we can listen to this. Basically, it arrived the other day and it came in an Amazon box and I heard it and I was like, hang on a second, something sounds broken. But I've also been ordering a lot of craft stuff, so I was like, what have I bought that could actually break? And then as I was rummaging through the Amazon box, I realized I'd bought this glass kit and I was like, oh, it's clearly this that's broken. So I opened it up and unfortunately, there we go. One of the little shot glasses have broken. And I didn't have time to return it or exchange it or anything like that, so I thought I would just make do with what I've got. But also, the thing is, I feel like they've packaged these glasses possibly like that in this craft kit, but you haven't like bubble wrapped it or anything. Like this one, it's got like a little bit of foam, it's well protected. You've just got glass randomly floating in a cardboard box with a lot of negative space around it, so it's clearly going to break. So even if I did exchange this for another one and returned it and stuff, I was thinking that I'm just going to get another one that's already broken again, so what is the point?
There isn't one.
So I was just like, whatever. Plus I absolutely hate returning things. I don't know whether there's anyone else out there returning an item. For some reason I can't stand it. There was one time I actually went against my rules and I returned something. It was this weird saw thing that I bought and I returned it to the shop tool station. If you're not from the UK, you might not have tool station. He said within a week I'll be able to collect this exchanged item or whatever. I went and collected it. I shit you not, they gave me the one that I gave them back. So the one I returned, which was defective, they gave us it back. So after that I was like, I'm not returning anything ever again. I just hate it. I don't know why, and I can't logically explain the reasoning why I don't like returning things, but I just don't like it. Unless it's a really exceptional circumstances, I'll return something. But something like this where it's like broken or whatever, I'll just make do and see if I can fix it myself. Not that I can fix a broken glass, but never mind. Okay, so in this kit we get one full shot glass and obviously one smashed shot glass. We have a little glass frame thing, some glass paint, a paintbrush, and then you've got that, you know that stuff that goes on stained glass windows, the LED, not the LED, that would be cool. No, the LED strips. So you've got some self-adhesive LED strip. I don't know whether this is real lead, so I don't think you're allowed to touch lead. Oh well, I'm sure it's safe, I'm sure it's fine. Oh, this thing, it's a sun catcher. So you have like a little suction cup as well, and you stick it on there, and then you create like a nice pattern and stick it on your window. Okay, I'm just gonna have a quick read of these instructions just in case I don't fully know what I'm doing, even though I think I know what I'm doing. It's also giving you like a little template of how you can design your thing, and it tells you that you can either follow their design on the box or you can make your own design up. And I might try and follow their design, why not? I think we'll do the sun catcher first. So we want to get these clips off, we don't need these. Okay, so in here we've got that I keep saying LED, we've got that LED strip. Okay, so this is fully self-adhesive. It doesn't give you a lot of this. Hang on, this is supposed to be able to make all of that, and that. So it's doubled, like there's two of them on here, but I don't feel like I'm going to be able to make that and them. We'll try, we'll see. Apparently you're supposed to place the LED strip first, so we'll do that. There is absolutely no way they've given me enough of this LED. Why do I keep saying LED? LED strip. There's no way they've given us enough of it. Oh, that makes sense. So I'm supposed to cut this upwards. So I've got 4 strips. I haven't got 3. You're telling me I'm supposed to cut this up this way? This is going to be impossible. Why didn't they just cut it for you? How ridiculous. See, I've just trimmed a little bit off. My issue is though, if they wanted me to have like thinner strips of lead, why didn't they just provide it thin to begin with? Stick this down the side of here. This isn't going very well and I've literally just started. Well, it is what it is. To be fair, there was a tutor I had at university and she used to work with lead and she told me a story about, I think she was like melting lead and stuff. It must have been in like the 60s or something where health and safety wasn't really kind of a big deal.
And one mother found
found her small child sitting up in her cot, putting plastic bags on her head.
And anyway, after a project, all her hair fell out because of the lead. So I'm hoping all my hair doesn't fall out. I've had to patchwork this one because I've cut it. Well, I've just cut it all wrong, haven't I? It does say on here, though, that it doesn't matter if your cuts are all wrong and a bit weird because it adds to the authentic handmade touch. So, mine's going to be very handmade. You know what? This is going to take me absolutely ages just to apply the lead. That has to be the worst one yet. The problem I'm having as well is because I've manhandled these strips as I've been cutting them, they've lost their stick. So, it's hard to even stick them on the glass now. Like, I don't know whether you're going to be able to see that, but look how thin that is. Hang on. It's just thin. It's so thin. It's so hard to cut.
Don't spill that stuff.
I'm afraid it's too late for that.
I just dribbled coke down as such a slob. I'm thinking I might do a more simple design because I'm just looking at this. Creating that with this stuff, it's really hard. I tell you what would be easier to use, which I don't have, is like a soldering iron. I haven't used a soldering iron in years, but that would be way better than this stupid lead strip. It would be fine if you didn't have to cut it in half. It irritates me. Why make it harder than it has to be? Why didn't you just provide these already cut down that way? And I know I'm having a whinge and a moan. I think it's mainly because it's arrived broken, so I'm already pissed off with it anyway. So the fact that it's making us do all this, just the cherry on top of the shit cake, that's what it is. It's a little easier to do it while it's still on the back end, but it's still not an easy task. It just all curls up, you don't have much control. In fact, what I might do is I'll do like a nice diamond shape in the middle, and then do like a starburst kind of effect. I think that'll be fun. And it'll just be a little bit easier to do than the design they're wanting us to do. Oh, also, I had my first round of physio a few days ago, and I'd never done physio before. I've never needed it or anything like that. So I didn't fully understand what I was expecting or what was going to happen. For some reason, I thought with physio, there was a lot of kind of like stretching and exercise and activities and whatnot. This was nothing of the sort.
She just doesn't have the vernacular that she thinks she possesses.
It was almost like a rough massage. And you know what? It was quite nice. I enjoyed myself. And it helped that the guy who did it, he was a little fitty. He was quite nice, actually. I think he liked me as well, because we've organised a second date, so I'm seeing him next week as well, for him to touch my body. It's a strange one as well because I'm not a huge fan of like physical touching. I don't like people touching us. But when he was like, I don't know, like mashing my back basically with his hands, I was just like, oh, this is alright, isn't it? There was one point when he got this like big kind of tool thing with like a rubber stopper on it, and it kind of hammered the back of your neck. That was a bit weird and that was a bit intense, and it almost made us feel sick from the vibrations, but you know, I'm looking forward to my second session. The longest relationship I've ever had. He has made my neck feel a lot better though. My neck feels a lot more, well, like less stiff. It feels like it can move around a lot more. I'm not gonna lie, this lead strip stuff is my least favorite activity out of the entire thing of this. It's not even sticking to the glass properly. I was trying to keep like an open mind about it, but it's very half-assed. It doesn't feel like a very well thought out kit, which I'm not surprised because it is House of Crafts and their kits are just very questionable. Right, I think that might do because I'm having a really tough time with this lead stuff. But there's my design. It's very, very simple. Way more simple than that. Can you imagine if I tried to do that with this lead strip stuff? Almost impossible. So let's get onto the painting side of it. Okay, so we've got some little glass paints here. Hopefully they're going to be good. I've got a blue one, a red one, a yellow, a green, and potentially a black. Yeah, the paintbrush they provide is shit. I've got some of my own paintbrushes just in case. And yeah, I knew their paintbrush was going to be awful. To be fair, the paint doesn't look too bad actually. And obviously glass paint is going to be very transparent. And especially if you're wanting to make a sun catcher, you want all the lovely sunshine, which never ever appears, to shine through all the colours. And I think when you're using glass paint, it's important to just go crazy, like put loads on. Oh my god, are you shitting us? I've just looked in that paint. All the bristles of this paintbrush are coming off into my paint. I don't even need to try and come up with like bad reasons or reasons why this kit's terrible. They just appear. They're not even hiding from us, they're in plain sight. We've got a paintbrush that's shedding bristles everywhere. It arrived broken and the lead strip was impossible to cut. Maybe this is why I stopped buying House of Crafts craft kits, because I realised how shit they were. The paint seems nice though, so I suppose that's a positive. Don't know whether you can hear the rain. It's chucking it down outside. There's also someone upstairs banging around so much and making so much noise. I don't think people realise when you're recording and stuff that you need quiet time. So if someone could tell that person, and if someone could tell that weather, that would be just swell. Shut up, you! Yeah, this glass paint is quite nice. I'm gonna give this kit a positive. The glass paint seems very, very nice. I've tried glass paint before, and I find glass paint very hit and miss. This one's actually a really nice paint. Not that I'm an expert on glass paint, but it feels nice. What colour is this? Is this black? Oh no, this isn't black, it's red. It's like a dark red. I tell you what this is reminding me of. I don't know whether anyone else had one growing up or anything. When you'd have like a front door, and it would have like a little bit of stained glass in the part of the front door. Everyone used to have them. I don't think it's popular anymore, but back in the day, it used to be very popular to have your front door and have like a little bit of stained glass in the front of it. I think it should come back, to be fair. I like stained glass. I think stained glass is lovely. I think it's just such a nice design, and you can do loads of different stuff with it. I think people view it as very old-fashioned though, but I'm sure there'll be glass makers and glass painters out there who are doing very modern interpretations of stained glass. The whole point of that lead strip is to obviously section off parts of the glass so you can flood the glass with the paint, but the lead strip is just peeling straight back up. They have not designed this very well at all, which is a real shame actually, because this is quite a nice little activity. Right, I think that's done. Oh, I think my design's quite cute actually. I'll bring the camera in so you can have a closer look. I'm not going to even attempt to lift that up. So there it is. I think that's absolutely adorable. Obviously you can see that bottom part where the colours bleeding into one another. That's because the lead strip, it just doesn't stick properly to the glass. It's too thin, it's too shitty. So the fact that I managed to get that done is an absolute miracle. And what I'll do once this is dry, I'll stick my little suction thing on and I'll pop it on the window and I'll show you what that looks like. And hopefully it looks lovely. Obviously I haven't recorded that part yet and seen what it looks like, but I might be able to record it when I've got a little bit of sun and it's not actually pissing it down, so we can get the full effect of the sun catcher. And obviously in this kit they had like the little shot glasses and stuff like that, but I'm not going to be doing any more painting. I'm just going to be doing this one because I found this craft kit to be pretty poor at best. I think stained glass painting, I think it's really nice and I think it's a really good activity. However, if you're wanting to try it, I wouldn't recommend this kit. I would either buy a better kit or buy all the individual items. You would just find it a better process, but at least it's introduced us to a craft that I actually really enjoyed. I think I'd do a little bit of that again. I don't know whether I could do an intricate design like that though. I think I would need practice. So I think that just about does it for today's video. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you come across any craft kits or anything like that, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll test them out so you don't have to, even if they do end up breaking on us and causing us pain and heartache. And I'll see you next week for a craft that has two potentials. It's either going to be really, really good, or I'm going to have a complete meltdown over it. I'm hoping it's not the latter. I really hope it's not the latter.